Going out again?
Yeah. When I swipe up, how do I? Not an iPhone. I'm sorry. It's just the bottom part. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. Thank you. No worries. And just real quick, guys, if you guys do have a question, please raise your hand. I'll bring the mics to you. Hey.
I was just demonstrating.
Yeah. I was just joking. No, I'll bring the mics to you and let you guys know when it's your turn to answer or when ask your questions, okay? We try to make it. I'll make that announcement once folks come in. I'll walk around. I just want to talk to that. Oh, yeah. I got you.
Who is this?
No, I'm sure 16. Give Jordan. Give them the microphone. Just give them the microphone. You know, whatever. So nobody gave very little. Yeah, I got a question with someone else. I wanted to do that, and then they gave the microphone. Have the microphone. Yeah. But it's funny. You're like. Something's put out. That long time no see. Yeah, I'm whatever. Seeing what time I get out of here, and if it's getting up here and there, right? Yeah, she's down there. Yeah, if we get out of here early enough, I'll probably try to get down there. Yeah, it should be better on the traffic. Yeah. They said like it's open, like they normally bring like 3 other players. So home, maybe harder. Yeah. For everybody else. A lot of us went off today.
Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on, man.
Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Everyone good?
They work. Yeah, I'm sure.
Sound like he's coming. Again, guys, raise your hand. I'll bring the mics to you. And again, for those of you guys just coming in, if you have questions, please raise your hand. I'll bring you a microphone and let you guys ask a question.
All right. Really don't have any injuries to mention here. We should be, on a positive note. Down at McDuffie and Fenton, we have a chance of getting back here this next week here. So, and it's a bye week. I got it, but we get them back when we get back. Anyways, listen, I'm proud of our team for the job they did. This is a very well-coached football team with the 49ers, and they've got really good football players. So, and they got their guys back, and were very emotional, had a nice big trade that they added to it. So their future is bright as can be. And but on the other hand, I like the way our guys approached the game. They came out, didn't get caught up in all of that, and didn't get caught up in being down by 10 points. They just kept playing. Had some young guys step up and make some plays. I mean, I could go through and name all the guys that had a good game, but I'd end up naming probably everybody. They all somewhere along the line contributed, and coaches included. There was great game plans for both sides of special teams. But the resilience of our special teams, first half was a bit shaky, and then second half the guys stepped up. That return to start the second half was a thing of beauty. So that really helped us get going there. Anyways, with that, time's yours.
Hey, Andy. Patrick starts off with that interception. What did you see from him after that point, responding to that?
Yeah, that's a great learning experience for Sky on that. So Sky's got a wraparound route right there, and we try to put everybody inside, outside. So you got to kind of work into that spot and know how to do it. And he got a little too high, and Pat trusts him. That was the positive part. So next time around, we'll knock that thing out. And they talked through it, and that was a good thing. So good learning experience. So.
Andy, you got McColl maybe more involved today in the running game, the running part of it. Something about this particular opponent that led you to do that?
Yeah, not necessarily. I mean, Coach Heck had these jet sweeps dialed up, and really he liked them. I mean, he did like him against this group, but he normally likes them. So I thought McColl did a heck of a job going fast, being patient, and then hitting it. And our guys blocked it well. So, for him, I think he had 3 touchdowns on it. That was the same play, really 3 different times.
Going back to Sky Moore for a second, do you have to step back from him on the punt return part of things for now?
No, listen, he, from what I see, number one, he doesn't hang his head. And number 2 is he learns from his mistakes. So that was a tweener thing going on there, and he'll learn from that. And I'm not that worried about him,
You say he learned from his mistakes. That was similar to the play in Indianapolis, though.
Similar, but he had, it was different.
Right.
Similar, but different. Adam, I got it.
Coach, you mentioned the signing of McCaffrey. Did your defense have to change anything as far as short notice and such an impact player, just kind of like being prepared for something like that?
Yeah, we had put together a tape on, if he did play, of all of his carries and catches. And so Spags buzzed through that. We figured they'd use something that'd be familiar to him. And we did. Now, he had some nice plays. He's a great player, and he's going to be a great addition. I mean, Kyle knows how to use offensive players, and he'll be exciting once he gets in the flow of things. Yeah.
Hey, Andy, we talked this last week about your guys getting more man coverage right over here.
Man, I'm having a hard time following the
No,
mic.
it's all right.
There's a mic here and a mic here, man.
You guys
Mics
getting more man coverage. How do you think your receivers responded to that challenge today?
Yeah, we've had it for really throughout the season. I thought our guys did a good job with it today. To answer your question, we had some pretty positive snaps against it, and in particular big time. So we were decent on third down, really good on third down. So that's normally where we've been seeing most of it.
And also your defensive line, what you see from them today?
Yeah, I saw relentless football, and nothing tells you that more than what Frank did at the end there with the safety against one of the great. He'll go down as one of the great offensive linemen ever to play this game. I mean, he's a tremendous football player. Ton of respect for him. So, I think all the guys did that. You saw Chris doing the same thing. Carlos had a nice batted ball and a big penalty against him. So there were some just positive things. 99 was a contributor. 91 was a contributor. I mean, you saw George had some positive snaps, and it's a good rotation Joe has going there. So,
Andy, trying to piggyback off that defensive line question. The Niners had a couple offensive tackles that were coming back from an injury, probably weren't 100%. So what was the key as far as just trying to put pressure and get Jimmy Garoppolo like off balance and making the bad throws like you guys did in the second half?
Yeah, listen, Jimmy's a good football player. It's and every quarterback in this league, you want to try to get him off balance. He's a veteran, so we were bringing people, and he made some nice plays in that second half, hitting the hot receiver, and to where we stopped doing that. And those guys, the guys that came back, will do nothing but get better for you guys. So I think it's a positive outlook for the 49ers, even though this score got away a little bit. I think it's down the road. The Niners are in good hands.
Coach, heading into the bye week, I know you don't get to choose when the bye week is, but is this having a good time for you guguys and coming off the win, and just kind of like how you assess like where you guys are right now?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a good time. 5-2 looks a lot better than 4-3. So it's I think it comes where we can afford to get a little bit healthier in some spots, particularly a corner spot, as long as the guys are out there and being safe. And that's kind of my primary concern right now, that they get back on time. That's always important. But this, I think, leads them into a nice positive week where they can have some recovery time.
All right, thank you.
Okay, good. Thanks.
Stop it. Start.
Juju.
Juju, you second straight 100-yard game for you, second straight game with a touchdown. Why all of a sudden last two games? What?
I think honestly it's just the hard work we're putting in. I think just like I said, it's the chemistry, and Pat, getting to trust all of us and to put the ball where it needs to be and us to go make the play. As you can see today, two tight ends, two to three tight ends catching balls, receivers catching balls, Miko score, I score, and just spreading the ball around. And then when your number's called, just making plays.
Third game this year, you've been down at least 10 points early, and you guys came back to win. Is there you notice something joining this team about how they operate in those situations?
Energy all day, and that starts with Trav, and and that starts with Pat and it starts with Chris. Like those are the guys that gets this team going. And second half, you can feel that. You can feel the passion that you're playing for one another.
Can you give some examples how you feel that?
Energy all day at halftime, and that's Trav saying, and I feed off of it. We're all feeding off of it, and coming in second half, we get the ball back, we come down, we had a great special team return and put points on the board, and with a team like the 49ers, great team all around, especially the defense side of the ball. You said like they're almost number one in almost every racket. So for us, it's just putting points on the board and getting up. And forcing them to throw the ball in the second half where our defense can play more.
Hey, Juju, you guys have faced a lot of man coverage. Did the receivers take that to heart this week? Was that a challenge you guys wanted to take on?
Oh, no, it doesn't matter what we're going against. Zone, man coverage. Since I've been here, I've seen it all. I've seen every type of coverage you can, go against. So, coming into this game, I guess it's always like the first series. I'm like, what do we see? What are they showing us early? And then kind of slowly changes, as the game goes on. And, the coaches call the plays. We go out there, we execute, and we make the plays.
And real quick, what did you see from MVS? He got a go route. I don't think he's had one of those this year. What did you see on that play?
So the one on the sideline? Not the post, right? No. Yeah. So, we came into this game that, it was honestly, that was probably a great catch. Catching the ball with the sun in your face. That's something that, we did last week. I had one last week and we caught that. So we worked on that, all week. So it was nice. It's always nice to see like MBS and like Koa like really open up and like really run.
The offense started off slow in that first half, but then the second half, you guys seemed like you were able to march down, do what you wanted. Was that return, that start the second half, the kickoff return, was that the spark you guys needed?
Yeah, honestly, that's where it was. That's the spark that got us into Clyde getting to the touchdown and us getting the ball back. And in an atmosphere like this, that's what we need. And going into that second half and going into the fourth quarter, man, everyone was just so excited, because once the defense gets a stop and once you're on one, you ever play Madden and they got like the X factor on like a quarterback, but they had it on Pat today and it was like fire. And I was just like, damn, he's on his X factor. Let me try to get on mine. I ain't got one, but I try to get one. So, but like I said, it's just a passion. Like when like I was say like this is the second we lost against the Bills. We lost against Colts, and we came out Tampa on fire. We lost against the Bills, another great football team. We came out here. We kind of started off sluggish, but we picked it up and we came out fire. I think moving forward, every week gotta feel like that passion, that energy, and that's why I'm here, because I'm all about work, man. At the end of the day, all I care about was the number on the board. I don't care about no stats whatsoever. As long as we win, we get out of the game with a W. We fly home, bye week, baby. Get to go home, see my family. It's nice, man. Happy Halloween.
Last two. Hey, Juju, just you talked about Pat trusting you. This goes back to like the workouts you guys are doing in Texas in the offseason. Just kind of that process and how it's evolved and where you guys are right now.
Oh, man. Dude, you want to talk about like chemistry and trust? Yeah, so we started off in Dallas. We worked out there. It's pretty cool. Pat got his like own little facility. I'm like, damn, that's pretty cool, Pat. So we started off there. We came here, worked out in camp, built that chemistry. Obviously, preseason, camp. But I'm gonna tell you what got us the chemistry, what we needed this game. So I think it was Friday night. It was me, Pat, Travis, and MBS. We were playing Call of Duty together. We were playing Warzone. And we played 3 games. We won 3 games back to back. And we got off. He was like, damn, like, it's really hard to win a game in Warzone, Call of Duty. And you could just tell, like, the communication between all of us and, like, the chemistry was just, like, it was like we were in a game. Like, he's there, he's right there, he's above me, he's right here. And kind of just led into this game and kind of just showed on the field.
You all on the same team? I'm not familiar.
Yeah. So we're on the same team. So we're on the same team, right? There's 4 of us. There's 64 people on this map. It's called Rebirth Island. We all land in. And then we all we get our guns. Once we get our guns, then we're all working together, like the communication, like, yo, let's move upstairs. Let's go here. Trav, he's behind you. Pat, he's behind you. He's in the storm. And that's where it all started at, honestly. You can ask him about it too.
Juju, I'm sorry, this question won't be as fun as that previous one. but for Mundo NFL in Spanish, the 49ers volvieron a muchos jugadores defensivos importantes esta semana. ¿Cómo pudieron hacerlo para ser tan exitosos? The 49ers got back a lot of defensive talent this week. How were you able to be so successful against them?
Oh, man. So going to get, like I said, this defense they're really good. You know, like I said, you look at the charts, they're pretty much number one across the board. And I think for us, you know, we always talk about when we're down and we're losing, it's us beating ourselves. It's penalties, it's unnecessary things that, you know, we're working on, and we're hurting ourselves. And we came out second half and we fixed that, you know. Like I said, we started off kind of sluggish, but at the end of the day, it's all about details and assignment, getting on your man. And our tight ends had huge blocks in the in the second half early where Clyde, you know, scored. So it's just everyone being accountable. Yeah.
Hey, bro, you got something about Warriors.
All right.
Take us through the go patterns and some more plays.
Are you talking about the one that down the middle of the field? Yeah. So that was it was a kind of a skinny post route that wasn't really a big alert in my read, but the way that their safeties were playing in their cover four, I knew that they were going to drive Juju, who was the primary on the other side. And so once I saw McCole kind of clear out the middle and he was one-on-one, I just put it out there. And it's funny. I've told him, I was like, I miss you in Indy, so I've thrown these two kind of short, but I'm going to get them to where I can get some touchdowns out of these and put them out there a little bit even further.
He said you guys had a conversation, and maybe it was the first quarter, second quarter, just about the fact that he thought that route might be open later in the game.
Yeah. So how they were playing, I mean, I think you saw it on the first pick. Their safeties were driving down. They have aggressive safeties. They're really good, but they were kind of trying to use their pass rush to drive down and make plays. That's what happened on the interception. And so once early in the game I saw that, we talked about it on the sideline. Right before we went on the sideline, I said, hey, it was the play I ended up hitting Travis on the little out route he had ran early in the second quarter. I was like, hey, if they in that cover four shell again, if that safety drives, just make sure you kind of keep it up down the field. And so that's stuff that you build throughout a season. And I think we're going to continue to get better and better at that.
Hey, Patrick, I'll ask you. Juju's talked about Friday. He said you guys gained a lot of chemistry playing Call of Duty and Warzone. I guess won 3 straight. Can you describe it from your perspective?
Yeah, I don't play all the time, but some of those guys play. And so when I had a kind of a free night on Friday, and so I told him, I was like, I'll get on with y'all for a little while. And so it was me, Travis, Marquez, and Juju. And Marquez and Juju are really good. Me and Travis are just all right. But we did our part, and we went 3 for 3 with 3 wins in Warzone, which I don't do often, which they might, but I don't. So I felt pretty good about it going into the game.
He says you guys have developed some chemistry. Did it feel like it playing that?
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. When you get away from the facility, you're doing it's kid-like things. And you're on the headset, and you're kind of talking and joking around and talking about the week. It kind of gets your mind off of just football, and it's about building those relationships. And so it's definitely cool to kind of see these guys, even if it's on the game, outside the facility.
Yeah. Hey, Pat, he just said that the trust, building the trust ever since Dallas, and that was kind of part of the evolution process where it kind of clicked in the Call of Duty. And he said that you were able to trust all of the receiver. How do you kind of felt like that evolution has happened, trusting those guys to having a performance like you did today?
Yeah, I mean, it's getting better and better. I think we can continue to get better. As I look at this season, I think we're going to continue to get better and better as the season goes on. We'll learn from our mistakes, and we'll go out there and improve and be even better when the season gets to the end of it. And so to go out against a defense like this and show that we can still be explosive and have those big plays, I think that will bode well for us as the season goes on, because people don't know where it's going to come from.
Patrick, you start the game with a pick and you're down 10-0 against a pretty good defense on the road, a loud building. Does any of that take you out of your comfort zone at any point? I mean, were you anywhere close to that today?
Not necessarily. I mean, I knew we needed to, after the pick, we needed to go down there and get points on that next drive. You don't want them to get too far ahead because how efficient and good their run game is. And so we were able to move the ball down the field that next drive and get it into the end zone. On McColl's first jet sweep thing. And so we knew that we needed to get points on the board. But, I mean, like I said, I saw early that their safeties were playing a little closer than teams usually play us. So I knew we'd have opportunities. It was just going to take us protecting, which our O-line did a terrific job of against a great D-line, and guys winning downfield, which they did.
So how is it that you don't get out of your comfort zone in those kinds of situations? Just haven't done it so many times before?
Yeah, I mean, it's having done it, and then there's so much time left in the game. I'm going to compete to the final whistle until coach takes me off that football field. And so whenever you get down in these games, all you can do is how can you affect and go out there and have a positive next play? And then you kind of continue to do that the next play. And EB preaches that is the most important play is the next play. And so we just go out there and just execute that play, continue to make the drives happen. And then once you get in the end zone and it gets a little bit closer, then you can kind of keep that same mentality going.
I know you don't care where the ball's going as long as it's going to an open guy, but everybody got involved today in big games for a lot of guys. What's that like for you when it's working, whether you get the ball to Hardman or Juju or MVS or Kelsey?
Yeah, I mean, we have guys everywhere in this offense. I mean, the receivers obviously had a big day today. The tight ends have had big days. Running backs have had big days. That's just going to be who we are as an offense. It's going to be everybody. And so I think as long as it all starts up front and the offensive line plays like they did today, we'll have a good day as an offense. We have a lot of playmakers on this team.
Patrick, everybody knows over here, Patrick.
Oh, yeah.
How you doing, man? Everybody knows that McCole is fast, but why do the jet sweeps work so well? And is there something that you guys recognized or saw from the 49ers defense that allowed that play to maybe flourish more than usual?
Yeah, I mean, first off, jet sweeps work better when you run the ball well. And I thought we ran it in spots really well, run it downhill. And then when you get other guys like Travis and stuff going through the middle, sometimes they lose sight of that jet sweep guy. And I think what makes McCole so good at it is obviously he's super fast, but he runs really hard. And a lot of times when you get smaller receivers and you get them on those jet sweeps, they want to get outside and kind of get to the sideline and kind of get yards and go out of bounds. If you notice with McCole, that man puts his foot in the ground and gets upfield and trusts his blockers. And you don't see that out of a lot of guys in this league, and it's a special talent that he has.
Patrick, there was so much talk about how the 49ers were looking at this as a rematch of the Super Bowl. And of course, you guys just really took care of business today. How much did this game mean to you guys? I mean, of course, every opponent I know is important, but was there anything at all in regards to playing the Niners again? Or?
Yeah, I mean, it's whenever you play against the best teams in the league, you want to go out there and show what you're all about. And I believe the 49ers are one of the best teams in the league, and obviously one of the best defenses. And so for us, coming off a loss against the Bills, you don't want to go out, have two losses going into the bye week. And so we knew this was an extremely important game. And I thought the guys accepted the challenge, especially how we started and responded and went out there and found a way to get that win. And that bye week's a lot better when you're coming off a win.
Hey, Patrick, National Tight Ends Day. I know Travis was like just 2 yards shy of 100 yards. I didn't know if you were aware of that near the end. I know you're trying to get the ball to him, but just, I didn't know if you guys were trying to get that.
I didn't know. I wish I would have. I would have stayed in and try to get him those yards. But I mean, that's not who he is. I mean, if you know Travis, he just wants to win. He's a competitor. He doesn't care who gets the shine. But if we ever have those opportunities, I think you see this team, we want to make sure we give him that credit and we give him those chances to make those historic record type of games. And he's done them so well, and he puts in the time and the work. So let him go out there and try to get a couple more catches there at the end.
And then just going into the bye week, how do you assess where you guys are right now at this break?
Yeah, I mean, we had a tough schedule going into the bye. We knew that going into the season. Obviously, we lost a couple games that we wanted to win. But when you look back on it, you're 5-2 in your first AFC West. You can't ask to be in a better position. So now we have to kind of recalibrate, get off our feet, get our bodies back, and then learn. Because when we come back to this next stretch, we're going to be ready to go and try to make a push to get to the playoffs and then try to get to the Super Bowl.
All right, thank you.
The Warriors are killed already. Man, I was right now, buddy. How you guys doing? No comment, man. Too much going on in this league. I have no comment.
Chris, with the coming off of a loss over here, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What did you feel like you guys showed most improvement in this game?
I think we focus more on us, what we can get better at. I think we gave that game away. We had so many opportunities late in the game where we could have capitalized on it, whether it's a pass rush, whether it's a pass we could have caught. And I think the focal point this week was capitalize on those opportunities. This is a great team coming in here. We knew it was going to be a hostile environment. So we capitalized on those opportunities. We'll give ourselves a chance to win.
Chris, we talked so much about you playing defensive end last year, but you've been pretty successful at it in the spots you played at this year. Was that something that's just game plan related? Is it something you're seeing during the game? I guess, how does that come about?
Spags call the defense. We just try to give them different looks. I got a heck of a supporting cast with me. I got Frank Clark, Carlos Dunlap, and Colin Saunders or Derek Nottie, and they cause a double team on them, which frees me up to get a one-on-one, or the scheme that Stags run forces me to get a one-on-one. And my job here is to win the one-on-one.
It feels a little bit odd to ask you to comment on a no comment shirt, but is there a reason you're wearing it here?
Well, everyone has been asking what's my comments on the sags, the flags I get. I have no comment. I'm trying to I have no comment, man.
Can you describe, Juju was just in here, he talked about, you guys have been down 10 points from 1-3 games. Can you describe 10-0, what the energy is like on your guys' sideline after you get down?
I think we actually play better when we're down. I don't like to be down because it causes so much, so much pressure on us to go out and score or go out and make a stop. But I guess we like challenging ourselves at this point, But no one got rattled. Everyone stayed subtle, and we came together as a team. I said at the beginning of this year we're gonna face a lot of adversity as a team, and it's continued to build our character as a whole.
Hey, Chris, just heading into the bye week, how do you assess your team and the progress that this team has made just for 7 weeks of the season?
We're 5-2 right now. We're in a good spot. Most importantly, we're missing a lot of key pieces within this team. A lot of guys are still hurt, banged up. We got one of our starting cornerbacks out, one of our starting D linemen. So we get a lot of guys healthy. Everyone can get a little rest, get off your feet, take care of your body, and we can come back and make a stride.
Chris, seems like the 4 best defensive games you've played this year have come on the road, 4 road games. And the 2 best pass rush games probably today and the one in Indianapolis. Something about playing on the road that gets you guys going a little bit, maybe?
I don't know. I think it's more so we're accepting the challenge of who we plan and continue to get better week in and week out. Joe Cullen emphasizing on upping the level week in and week out and being better than you were last week. And that's our focal point as a D-line and particularly.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
No, we are done. We are done.
We're done. We're done.
We're done.